So this is part 3, and this is my second time recording this video. I recorded it yesterday, I want to say, and then I felt like I left out too much stuff. So I got my iPad right here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a long list of stuff, and I don't want to forget a detail. Okay, so part 3. This is going to be about, there's so much that has happened in the 2 years of me dealing with this man that I had to take note, because I really want y'all to see what the hell I done got myself into, by not taking a responsibility and getting to know this man, not, watching to see how he really takes care of his children, to know that that's not a place that I should have asked a man that I should have asked to take custody of his child. I just wish I knew what I know now. If I would have seen some of this stuff with going on with like his other 2 kids, I probably wouldn't even had Faith would have been where she was and been there until she was 18, and we would have been having a FaceTime over the phone type of relationship like I do with the other 2. Because this shit is the best. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about the conversation I left off, where I told y'all that I ended up taking a conversation with the baby mom, and she told me some things. We're gonna kind of go into some of the details, but not all, that she told me, and I'm gonna explain why I felt like I needed to talk to her, which is something that he's upset about. I don't know if it's because he still wants to have a sexual relationship. He wanted to still have a sexual relationship with her and me at the same time, or if it was he wanted to make sure he still had her, or whatever the case may have been. But however it is, he's upset that I had a conversation with his baby mom. And y'all know how that go. When dudes got some kind of something going on with their life and they don't want you to find out about them, they get mad when you talk to their baby mom to find out who they really are. So this conversation that I had, I wish the lock screen wouldn't keep locking. So I had a conversation with the baby mama twice. Both of these conversations were 3-hour conversations apiece, lasting at a total whopping 6 hours. And I decided to speak with her because I felt like I was running away from, talking to her, and kind of like just being kind of like in denial, if you will. I was being in denial, not trying to find out what kind of man this man was. And I also found that she wanted to talk to me. She kept saying, oh, I want to talk to your mom because she don't know who she's dealing with. I've known him for years and she needs to really know this and that about him. And she really wanted to get me to know about him. So, and a lot of the things that I heard from the other baby mom is the reason why I made decisions the way they are, with the child support, with the everything. Some of it came from like me hearing the way that he wouldn't do for his kids like he was supposed to with her, and then I just kind of was like, oh nah, I definitely got my mind made up and I'm not about to go through that. So yeah. So one thing she told me was that they had a domestic violence dispute where he ended up putting his hands on her. And what happened was, y'all know, he used the B word like it's going out of style or something. Or, I don't know, but he used that B word like it's, I don't know. So what happened was, they were arguing and he called her a bitch. And I guess she got fed up with getting called a bitch. And she said, if I'm a bitch, your mama a bitch. And so they did that argument, I think, over the phone. And I think she described to me that he came over, let himself in. He good for wanting to have your key. And I don't know if that just make him feel like he a man or something, but he good for wanting to have your key and be able to let himself in your house. And so I guess he let himself in, and he came in the house and he said, "You said what about my mama?" And he punched her in her face and fucked up her eye and her lip, I think she said. And she said, "I had to go to an interview the next day and my face was fucked up. And I didn't get the job because my face was fucked up from him hitting me in the face." That was something I needed to know. And that this is why I wanted to have this conversation, because I felt like I wasn't getting to know him. So since I'm not getting to know him, she's reaching out for a reason. Let me go ahead and talk to her. So I did. She told me that she gets his son that he has custody of on the weekends. Sometimes it'd be every weekend. Sometimes it would be every other weekend. Sometimes there'd be time where she wouldn't get him as much. And she told me there was an incident where, and I remember this day because my daughter, this was back in June, my daughter graduated from high school, my oldest daughter, and I went on ahead and called an Uber down to Cleveland from Akron to go see her graduate. That was the day. And she kept his son, and we had this 2-hour conversation, and she was like, "Yeah, I kept his son because they be liking to play the game together with their brother, which that's not a problem to me. But what became a problem for her was when he asked her, well, she asked him, she said, she even, I think, told him, however it go, she called him on the phone and texted him and was like, "Hey, I don't got no food for none of the boys. I guess she was waiting on payday and she didn't have any food at the moment." And she asked him, "Can you buy like a $5 pizza or a $10 pizza for the boys? Because I don't have no food here." Now, mind you, she got 2 of his boys, and then she kept the other boy that he has custody of because he went over there to play the game with his brothers. Now, this dude would not answer his phone, was ignoring her, not answering her call at all, right? And I was like, "He still ain't answered the phone?" And she was like, "No." And I was like, "That's crazy." And she was like, "I don't have no food here, and I go out of my way and keep his son, and he won't even answer the phone to bring pizza over here for the boys because ain't no food here right now." So basically it was kind of like a, "Yeah, you gonna keep my son, and whatever you need, figure it the fuck out." This dude, I started calling him when she said that he wouldn't answer the phone. He wouldn't answer my calls either. So then I called either private or from a different number, and he answered. That goes to show. No, I'm wrong. He didn't answer my call either. So I blew down. Or blew past, really. I called a Lyft to see what was going on. I ride past, it's a white car in the parking lot. Meanwhile, I'm trying to call and get through. She trying to call and get through because she got his son and she need food. And she done went out of her way to feed an extra mouth for the other boy to stay over there that he got custody of. He not answering her calls or my calls. So it's a car in the driveway when I roll past, a white car. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, this dude at home whole time, he just not answering his phone. His car is parked in his driveway, and whoever else's car is parked in the driveway. Pissed me clean off. So I took a picture, and mind you, he not answering my calls or her calls. I take a picture and send it to him via text. When I tell you he responded immediately, talking about, "Don't do that shit, don't do that shit." Because this goes to show that you ignoring people because you laid up, and people out here keeping your kids for you that they don't gotta keep, that don't belong to them. And they already gotta deal with children that they single mothering on their own. Not cool. So that was the incident with that. That's how he get down. And then I always get his daughter. he be complaining, talking about you don't get Faith at all. You don't do this, you don't do that, you don't do this for her, you don't do that for her, you don't even get her. First of all, she's 17. She wants to go hang with her friends. I'm not about to force her to come over here every weekend. She's 17. She's damn near about to be grown. I can't force her to come over here if she don't want to come over here, and you shouldn't either. If she want to be at home and be in her bed, let her. She has her own mind. She's not 6 or 7 where she gotta come over here for the weekend. Them days is over with. She's a minor, but she's a young adult now. And you gotta let her be a young adult, not a 5-year-old. Now, if she was 5, 6, 7, I could see you telling me, you're not getting her, she's not 5, 6, or 7. She's 17. And she can decide when she want to come over here and when she don't. And then, so that was that. And then when I be keeping his daughter over here extra with my daughter, y'all done seen it on the vlogs. There was one day where I took them out to eat, and it costed me like $60, $70 for everybody to eat. Y'all remember it? I vlogged it. It's one of my videos. I vlogged it, and I took them out to eat, and I paid for my daughter, his daughter, and me. And I did not have to do that. So let me tell y'all, after the day was over, none of us are realizing it's a Sunday and the buses stopped running early because they so used to him coming. He used to drive and drop them off over here and drop her off over here, and they got so used to it. They didn't realize that it was a Sunday that day after we went out to eat. So they had to go back home to get to school in the morning. So we calling him, he not answering. They calling him, he not answering. I'm calling him again, he not answering. They calling again. They get all the way to the transit here, and he's still not answering his phone. So, I think I called. Sometimes you have to do this with him. I'll call from a text-free number just so he can answer, because I feel like if they calling and I'm calling and he not answering, he not going to answer. So I call from a different number and he answers. I'm like, you know the girls is at the transit and they need you to go get them? He like, well, they asses knew it was Sunday. They going to have to figure it out. Now I got to call somebody to go get them. He said, you can't give them no money for Lyft to get them back home. I said, and then he had to think about it once I told him that. I said, I just spent I just kept them for the weekend, and I just took them all out to eat and spent $60, $70 to take all of us out to eat, including your daughter that's not mine, and I didn't have to do that. And that's when he kind of drew back and was like, oh, my bad. Well, I'm going to call somebody else to go get them. How you calling somebody else to go get the kids when you got a brand new fucking truck on wheels? Because you laid up somewhere. You laid up somewhere fucking, and then you don't want to go get them because you don't want to stop what you doing. So you calling somebody else to go get them. That ain't their job. That's your job. So he had somebody else go get them. This the type of stuff that he be doing. And so then one story she told me, she said, one day I'm just going through the little things on my iPad so I don't forget nothing. Something else we talked about when we was on the phone, she was like, and this is everything she telling me, I'm taking it in like, yeah, because he talking me into like, nah, when we get Ezekiel back, we not gonna do child support. I'm gonna pay for him out of my pocket. I'm gonna pay for his medical insurance. And in my mind, I'm like, dude, do you know how much medical insurance costs? It's expensive. Let the government pay for that. And then he like, you're not gonna get no welfare check for him. I'm gonna pay for him out of my pocket. The conversation that I had with this woman helped me make my decision, because I was like, if he'd do her like that, he gonna do me like that, and I don't got time. I'm the baby mama that don't play no games. So she told me this story where one day they was in the car riding around, and this is something he would do. I don't know why he does shit like this. He says to her, that's my baby mama at the bus stop. Now it's pouring down, drenched, raining outside. And he feels the need to acknowledge that a baby mom is standing outside with their child in the rain. In the rain. with their child. She's now deceased, the baby mom that we're speaking of. She's standing in the rain with their child, her and our baby dad's child. And he says to her, "That's my baby mom," pointing to his baby mom and child standing out in the rain. And I guess she said to him, "You not gonna let her get in the car and we take her home?" And I guess he just didn't want to, and they pulled off. Weird as shit, right? The type of dude he is. Now, I'm telling you all the little hiccups he be doing. And that's why I can't mess with him. So, then she told me a story where she was like, she wanted some money to get them some clothes, some outfits, a couple clothing items. He gives her, I think, $60 for both of them and says, "Make it work." And she was like, "I can't even buy a t-shirt for both of them with that. Like, these is growing boys and you giving me $60 to get them outfits?" Like, he will be cheap when it come to kids. And when she said that to me, I said, so he only want to give you $60? And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, he trying to talk me out of getting a welfare check." And I said, "I'm not about to go through that. If I tell you," because he the type of dude, if I tell him I need diapers, "Well, I ain't got money to get diapers right now. I'm going to go ahead and give you like $40, no, like $20 and just get like a small pack. And then later on we can get the box." No, I buy the box the moment I need them. I'm not running to the store every weekend. I ain't got no fucking car. And I'm definitely not about to blow your phone up, call your phone all the time when he needs something. I don't got time for that. When it comes to a child in my care, I like to get up and go shop for my child. I don't know if y'all see how I be dressing my baby, but you not finna dibble dabble me. No dimes and nickels for mine. I'ma go get it when I need it. Diapers and all. Like, for instance, when we had this children's services case, he literally didn't do anything. Like, his dumb ass not realizing they could see you like they could see me. They watching you like they watching me. We had to do a DNA test to make sure that Ezekiel was yours. So they made us do a DNA test. He's not allowed in the courtroom unless he take the DNA test, and he wasn't allowed to be a part of the case unless he took a DNA test. So he took the DNA test, and Ezekiel came back, he is. And so now he's allowed to be a part of the case. So meanwhile he's a part of the case, they're watching him just like they're watching me. And he like, "Oh, I feel like I'm in trouble." No, you're the father, and they want to see how you are as a father too. They want to see, well, what kind of man did she sleep with? If she going through this with the baby, is he gonna help her? Do y'all know the whole case, he did not help me. He kept telling me, "It ain't my fight, it's your fight. It ain't my case, it's your case." Okay. When they asked him for the safety plan for him to take custody of the baby for a little while until I got him back, he didn't open his mouth and say shit. But his fat, funky platypus ass walked up in that courtroom and was listening to every damn thing they were saying out their mouth and picking it up to use it on me when Mad Day come. "Oh, they said this in court, they said that in court." He sat there and listened to everything they said bad about me and would pick it up and throw it in my face when Mad Day would come. What the fuck you go to court for? Just to do that? Because you didn't help get the... And I kept telling him, "Stay your ass at home. You ain't helping me get him. I am helping you. I'm taking you to court, and I'll be taking you to the little appointments and the this and the that." You supposed to do that. But sitting up in the courtroom not helping me fight for him is not going to help. You might as well stay at home and just let me do everything on my own. I did it anyway. So that was that. And so when she's telling me this, it's helping me to make decisions about certain stuff. So one day, okay, and then like another example when it comes to money, which helped me make my decision about taking the government check over him doing for Ezekiel out of his pocket. And I'm gonna explain to y'all something else too. So something else that helped me make that decision was he needed a walker. And the walker was like $65. We were short a couple dollars. And he gonna say, well, just get the cheaper option. I'm not about to send nothing else. Dude, what? And then something else he would do, he would lie. I would be going to a visit, right? And he's supposed to go with me because they done did the DNA test. You're a part of the case plan once the DNA test come back that the child belongs to you. So he like, I ain't gonna be able to go to the visit and take you to the visit today. You're gonna have to just go and do it on your own. And I'll be like, well, you was my ride there. How I'm gonna get there if I ain't got no way there? He gonna say, I ain't got no money right now. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can borrow something. Let me call you back in a minute. And he would fake get off the phone and then fake call me back and be like, my friend let me borrow how much you think it'll be to catch a lift to the appointment. And I would tell him how much it was gonna be. He would send me the amount. I would look it up on Lyft how much it cost at that moment. He would send me the amount. And then he'll be like, you got to give it back to me when you get your money. Nigga, this is money for your child. So instead of you giving me money for your child, for me to go see our child, you let me borrow the money and then you want me to pay it back to you. And then you a lie and say a friend gave it to you and I got to give it back to you because you got to give it back to the friend. The money was really coming out of his pocket the whole time. He don't think I know this, but I know it. The money was coming out of his pocket and he wanted me to give it back to him because he's stingy. Like, I hate broke niggas. And he was doing broke nigga shit. And that's why I take the government funds. So, it's the being cheap for me. And I was like, I ain't got time for that. I'm going to take what the government giving me. I don't want nothing from him. And I don't want to have to ask, beg, or go through some dumb shit just to get something for my son. So, then let me tell you, one day, I don't know if his child's mother was lying, but when we was talking, I was like, when's the last time you slept with him? And she was like, 3 weeks ago. And I was like, so that right there let me know that they were still sleeping together while we was dealing with each other. And then I was like, well, I slept with him just this week. And she was like, well, I slept with him 3 weeks ago. And I was like, oh my God. So then weeks later, I don't know when I caught the STI that he gave me, but he gave me an STI. So I go to the doctor and I find out I got trichomonas. Right. When it goes away, I ended up having the trichomonas for a whole year. Because I thought once I took the 14 pills that it was gone. I had to take 2 pills for 7 days. And I thought once I took it, it was gone. And where my dumb ass made the mistake was, I didn't go back to the doctor to make sure that it was gone. So I still had it even though I took all the pills. And so I ended up having it for a whole fucking year. And so I went back to the doctor again, got some more pills, and then I turned around and got retested this time, and I came back cleaner than the Board of Health. No HIV, no syphilis, no herpes, no gonorrhea, no trichomonas, not even BV. And one thing about dealing with him and having any kind of sexual relationship with that man, it came with BV. Every trip it came with BV. I kept having and keeping and staying with BV, messing with him. And that's another reason why I've been celibate going on 2 years now. So, I'm doing pretty good. Now that I done got checked, and I've been celibate for 2 years, I went back, got checked after I took the second dose. After I found out that I had it for a year, I'm cleaner than the Board of Health now. So, with that means... And then he liked to say, I'm a private individual. I'm a private individual. You private, but your dick public. Get the fuck on. So, another thing. So since he's had Faith, this man has no kind of... Hold on. Let me restart this camera because I don't know when it's going to go off. Okay, since he's had custody of Faith, let me tell you some of the stuff that's been going on. So this school year that they're in now, that they about to go on Christmas break for, because that's the next holiday. He did not buy none of his children's school clothes. He told them, I'm not buying y'all no school clothes, figure it out. But here you are driving around in a nice ass truck, and you done went and got you the newest iPhone that's out, trying to keep up with the Joneses. You had to pay for that, so ain't no way you couldn't have got them no school clothes. And you had a truck that you make payments on. And then once you told them that you weren't gonna get them no school clothes, he's been to see Ezekiel twice since then. And each time that he came over, that pissed me off about it, was that he had on brand new outfits each time. Brand new fucking outfits. Now this nigga don't be having clothes. He be rotating the same fucking clothes over and over and over and over and over. He got about 7 or 8 outfits, and he repeat them shits, repeat them shits, repeat them shits. He came over here in an outfit I never seen before, and the t-shirt looked brand new, clean. You could tell it was a new outfit. Then he came over, I want to say days later, in another clean, brand new outfit. And I'm in my mind, when I'm seeing him, I'm like, they can't get no school clothes, but here you is walking through my door with new clothes on and new shoes. And you wanted me to allow you to take care of Ezekiel out of your pocket, and you told them they wasn't getting no school clothes? Like I said, that's why I chose the government income. Until I get my degree and get in my field, I'm rolling with the government, period. So what he's told me about not seeing Zeke, he keeps doing the tit for tat game. He be like, you ain't seeing Faith like you supposed to, and how I'm supposed to come over there and see Zeke. You want me to deal with Zeke, but you're not even dealing with Faith. First of all, it don't got nothing to do with I'm not dealing with Faith. Faith is 17 and want to go kick it with her friends on the weekend. That's what it got to do with, first of all. So he do this tit for tat. If you don't see Faith, then I don't see Ezekiel. Boy, what? You're weird. How old are we? It's weird. Then he tries to tell me what to do with Ezekiel. I don't want Ezekiel to have a haircut. Don't cut his hair. Don't cut his fucking hair. If you cut his fucking hair, we're gonna have a problem. Bitch, spit some money out for him and his clothes and what he need, and then you can tell me what to do. But you ain't spitting out shit over here. So on his second birthday, he either getting a lineup or a haircut. I don't know which one yet. But ain't no nigga gonna tell me what to do when he ain't helping take care of nothing. And then he keeps saying, every time I see him, he got on a new pair of shoes. You buying him too many pairs of shoes. And not only do I hear that from him, but I hear that from other people. Let me tell you something. I do for my baby what I want to do for my baby. I buy for my baby what I want to buy for my baby. I take care of my baby the way I want to take care of my baby. Period. Like, I got different people telling me, don't buy Ezekiel nothing else for Christmas. Don't buy. Stop telling me what to do. Yep. I paid $130 for him to have a car. Yep. I want to pay $40 and get him a drum set. He gonna have clothes, other people giving him stuff. Like, then his birthday party is on the 4th. I'm about to do his birthday party. Then he telling me, you could just do that shit at your house. I don't know why you going all out. You just trying to do publicity for your vlog and stuff. You should just do that shit at the house. Are you going to clean up the house after it's dirtied up and everybody that ate and left me with the mess? No. So shut the fuck up. And he having his party at Chuck E. Cheese. And last time I checked, going all out and spending a whole bunch of money wasn't $100. It's $100 to do a party for him and 5 other kids to join him to get tokens. And we just, what we get with that? A table and We don't even get pizza with that. I gotta pay separately for the pizza, which I don't have a problem with. I'm not no cheap motherfucker. I'm going to pay for him a party. So, then something that I'm pissed off about with my daughter. She's telling my oldest daughter stuff that's going on between me and her dad. Like, you could tell her what you're going through with your dad about you, but don't go telling my adult business to any of your siblings about the relationship I got with your dad. It does not matter. So now my kids don't like the man. Which I'm not saying I want them to like the man, but it's not their business or their problem to worry about how somebody treating me. I don't like that. And I never talk to my kids about my personal business. I don't talk to them about a relationship that I'm in with a man. I don't talk to them about, like, nothing that has to do with personal when it comes to a man that I'm dealing with, because that's not their business. And so Faith be going and telling my oldest daughter stuff. So when I told her we was putting together the party, and I was just like, his dad might want to come, because I want his dad to be there, because, you know, that's his dad. But I ended up asking him. Okay, so let me tell y'all. He kept fussing and complaining because I be dealing with my ex, Juan. And my ex, Juan, would come over here and help me. Juan then came over here with 2 gallons of milk, brought me and Zeke something to eat, then came and spent the weekend down here and took me and Zeke out to eat for my birthday. Juan then been here helping me with the baby. Ezekiel had a fever while Juan was here. And Juan helped me with the baby when the baby had a fever while he was here. Months earlier, Ezekiel had a fever and he kept throwing up. And I kept calling his dad like, hey, can you get this? Can you get that? And he was like, nah, you're going to have to get it off your food stamp card, because I can't get it off my food stamp card. I ain't got no food stamps right now. But you got cash. You sit here and you buy these bottles of Cavassier, but you can't buy, like, I'm asking you for water, Pedialyte, and soup, chicken noodle soup, and Pedialyte Pops, because he's sick. Then our son threw up on my comforter, and I asked him to wash it, because at the time I didn't have a washer here. I was like, hey, can you come get these blankets and wash them? And he was like, yeah. And then when he got here to get the blankets, he asked me for the money to wash them at the laundromat, because his washer not big enough. And at the time I didn't have a washer. Sorry shit. Like, you can't take $6 and put it in and wash it because your son threw up on it. Like, it's the shit he be doing is just weird, okay? So that was that. And then he be fussing about Juan being around, like, you know, Ezekiel. It was like, I don't want no other man being around my son, trying to step in and be a daddy figure. I'm his only daddy. I'm his biological father. I'm his only father. Alright, only father, only biological dad, and you his biological dad. Last week, I called him, and I said to myself, since he don't want nobody stepping in, being a stepdad, or stepping in and being a second dad to him, and he want to be the only and first dad, I said to myself, I can afford his birthday party. I got everything for his birthday party. I already got his gift, all of that. I'm just going to reach out to him and ask him just to see what he going to contribute. I said it like this. I said, you going to contribute to the cake or the party? The party is $100. He was like, what I look like giving you $10 for a cake, and the cake is only $20. I'm pretty sure with the welfare check you get, you can afford everything. You damn skippy with the welfare check. I can afford everything. Everything was already thought out for me to pay for it on my own anyway. I was just asking him to see if he would contribute. Since you want to be daddy and you the only biological father, and you don't want no other man stepping up being a father to him. Let me tell you something about Juan. Juan has children. They're grown. And we be talking about different stuff. And he was like, let me tell you something. All my baby moms was on a welfare check. And I never got mad at them because they was getting a welfare check. I told them to go get the welfare check because child support was making me pay $500 to $800 out of my check for child support for my children. And after all of that money they was taking, like, I couldn't do nothing for them, barely. So I was okay with my baby moms being on the welfare check. And guess what I did while they was getting a welfare check? He said I was still doing on top of it while they was getting a welfare check. So Juan do for his child while his baby mom is on the welfare check on top of what the welfare do. Now that's a real man. So I just called him just to see what he was gonna say. Cause I was talking to somebody. I said, girl, the party only $100. That ain't nothing. I got income and my baby got income. The party only $100. I do YouTube and get paid like maybe $100. That can go to that. And then I said, I know how I'm gonna get his gift. Everything gonna be paid for. And it's already paid for. I just haven't, did the little reserve thing. But I just asked just to see where he was at with it. Then he gonna say to me, I said, well, is you gonna get him a gift for his birthday and for Christmas? Yeah, I'm gonna get him a gift for his birthday. I'm gonna probably pin a couple dollars on him. And then he gonna say, nah, the money ain't gonna go to him. I wanna say, bitch, have you seen his bedroom that I put together? That came out of my pocket. I get my check first and then he gets his. Before his check get here on the 3rd, my check is already spent on him. I done bought him diapers. I done bought him clothes. I done bought him a couple pairs of shoes. I done looked through this to upgrade his sippy cups. I done ordering him shit online. And you know what I get told? By several people. Celestine, you can never do too much for your child. But they letting me know that they see that I'm not taking care of myself because I'm so hyper focused on making sure he don't want or need for nothing. Like my case manager told me, she said, don't do nothing else for him. Do for you. That baby boy, you make sure he got everything he need and want, and that baby don't want for nothing. Don't buy him nothing else. Do for you. And it's okay to do for you. I had somebody tell me, you're being I was told by fairy godmother, and which is true, she was like, you're being a detriment to yourself. You're doing so much for Ezekiel, but you're not doing enough for yourself. I can't recall one time you get on FaceTime and talk to me and say, hey, I bought myself this outfit, this purse, this shoes. I went and did this for myself. She said, I don't hear you saying that. You do so much for Ezekiel, you don't do nothing for yourself. And then I have to wear myself thin trying to make sure that Faith has whatever I can get her as well. It's a lot. And then Faith wants to get on me about 2 siblings that are grown, and I cannot worry about 2 grown folks on top of you and Ezekiel. That's not how that works. They have jobs, they have cars, and they have to fend for themselves. I cannot stretch myself thin. I have to take care of me too, and I haven't done that yet. That's me. When I say, when this baby came into the world, I wanted him. He was planned to me. And that's why I take care of him like I do, because he was planned. When me and his daddy was laying up and doing all of this, his dad would say to me, oh yeah, I'm letting off in you. 5, 6 big squirts. I don't care if you get pregnant. So what does that mean? Then I'm like, all right, cool. In my mind, I start preparing myself for a child, right? 3 months before I got pregnant, I went to CVS and bought a box of 2 pregnancy tests. Because the discussion prior was, I don't even care if you get pregnant because I'm letting off inside of you every time. On purpose. He was planned. And I knew he was going to come. I went and bought pregnancy tests 3 months before I got pregnant because I knew what it was. The only reason why I was crying when I told this man that I was pregnant was because I knew it was going to turn into what it is today. Which means he's a sorry father. But one thing about me, I'm a strong ass woman. I done been through the storm. I done been through the lion's den. I done been through the fucking forest. And I done fought out of every situation. But you know what I was taught? Stand your ass up. Don't cry over no nigga if he ain't doing for his child. Take care of that child and leave that fucking nigga alone. And what do I do today? I take care of my child and I leave that nigga alone. This nigga can't tell you I call him crying, talking about, you not doing it. He can't even tell you that. Because I take care of my baby by any means necessary, even if I gotta go without. And I don't gotta go without. I just love taking care of my baby. I just love taking care of my baby, that's all. The same way I used to do with my 3 grown children, they were spoiled. Even Keisha, who was in my life at the time, used to say, one thing about her, she take care of her kids. That's one thing about me. I don't play about taking care of kids. As for my baby dad, he don't got a fatherly instinct bone in his body at all. Like, at all. So, that concludes part 3. I don't think there are going to be any more parts. If there is, just check my community wall if I think of anything. But yeah, this concludes part 3. And I hope you guys enjoyed my vulnerability, because sometimes when we don't have nobody to talk to, we just pick up the camera, and that's the part of being a content creator. When you have no one to turn to, or something gets on your nerve, or you've had your last straw, you pick up the camera and you talk. All right, I will see you guys later.